That's Sonia Wilson singing and Nigel Gavin playing as Sonia celebrates her Parisian roots in song. The album is called Sweet Paname, and it's getting its digital release on July 15th, which is also when they present a French fancy dress dancing soiree. Here now is Sonia and Nigel to tell us all about it.
We're releasing both a book and a CD all in one, and it's also a bit of an art exhibit because I've collaborated with 17 visual artists.
Okay.
And it's called Sweet Paname, which is also the title of a song that's on the album.
Okay.
We did a tour recently when we did the hard copy release, and people thought I was singing about sweet bananas.
Of course.
It's actually, Paname is a nickname for Paris.
Okay.
Because in the early 1900s, they used to wear the Panama hats.
Oh.
And so when I was growing up, I'm from Paris originally.
Right.
I don't sound French because my parents are American.
Right.
Because people might wonder.
Well, I don't sound English because my father was American.
There you go. So you get it. And so it became a kind of slang term for Paris. So we wouldn't say, oh, we're going to Paris. We'd say we're going to Paname.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it has the CD at the front.
Oh, yes.
And then kind of some anecdotal aspects of me growing up in Paris. And the book presents the irony of the fact that when I was in France, I was in a world music ensemble, and I loved singing songs in every other language.
Right.
And
including Terreo.
Including,
cool.
Naiouye, which I learned in Terreo when I was living in Paris and had no inkling of a clue that I would end up in New Zealand.
And here you are.
And then here in New Zealand, people keep asking, oh, so you sing this French song? And it turned into a project to acknowledge my roots.
Cool. Alrighty.
There you go.
And the two of you make music, and Nigel, you play with everybody because we've seen you all over the place.
Sonia just realized I play in 11 bands.
Were you counting on the way here?
A few days ago, yeah.
So the recording was done a couple of years ago at the Otago University studio, which was brand new, and we were the first ones in there.
Right.
And we did 25 songs in 5 days.
And it's
live.
produced by John Agnes, who's a wonderful, another American.
Okay. Yep.
And so it was live. So she played ukulele guitar, played guitar, and then later on we flew in a few other instruments. Pascal from the Albie and the Wolves.
Pascal Rocken, yeah.
And Miho.
Yep.
Yeah. And Tracy Collins, on accordion. We have the wonderful Helen Webby playing the harp from the Christchurch Symphony.
And Gunnar.
And Gunnar Elvanger, who's a fantastic singer and kind of my adoptive brother, not literally, but
I know what you mean.
You know.
We all have those.
And we have the last song to be added to the album was actually Sweet Paname, because I wrote it the day we were doing an extra day of recording. I wrote it a few days before that and finished the last verse of it in the studio, as you do. And Anna Bowen, who's a local Dunedin musician, did some singing and fiddle playing on there.
Okay.
And so, some really lovely musical guests in the mix.
So it originally came out physically, and now it's digital.
Yeah,
so
the
you're doing
digital.
it backwards, you know that, don't you?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a little bit like that. I think it's the cultural confusion, probably.
Okay. So are there still physical copies available?
Yeah, we first printed
Second
300 of them, and we took those on tour and sold out, which was great. And so I've just reprinted 333 or something like that.
Okay.
So the people who don't have the CD players anymore or vinyls for whatever reason that is, I don't understand.
No, nobody does.
But they have a lovely book.
Right.
They can still read, right?
Yeah. It's the tactile. I'm finding now people want something to come home from the gig.
Right.
They don't just want a download card or a USB stick. They'd like to have.
Yep. People do like a little merch.
And so we're still, at great expense, we're still making things in reality.
And people will find, they may have forgotten, but they might have a CD player in their car.
That's right.
Yeah.
They can listen to it on the way home.
In the last week, I've received a couple letters from people in France who've received a copy of it through my parents. It's not being retailed officially in France, but some copies have found their way.
Cool.
And someone was saying, I had to dig through all my storage, and I found this old computer that had a CD player on it, and it's great.
There you go. The technology just keeps moving along and then moving back.
Yeah, and so basically the digital release is on request because some people have said it's great that you've done this, but I really want to listen to it,
On the
on the
platforms.
streaming platforms, and could you make that happen? And so
Yep.
we've been in touch with DRM,
Oh, yeah.
and they've agreed to help us release it. So that's coming out on the 15th of July,
Right.
which we also have an event on.
Celebrating the
Tell us about the
I
event.
don't know if you have to do it.
No, just hold it up. That's all right. We'll get a
close
close-up
up.
later.
And so Saturday, July 15th, it's called a French fancy dress dancing soiree.
Okay.
It's not a concise title.
No.
The fancy dress part has been scaring people. I've had lots of calls like, but what do I wear?
Yes.
So there'll be
What do
nobody.
you wear?
There'll be nobody rejected for their clothing. Let's put it
Say
that
that
way.
now.
In New Zealand, it means, in America, it means you get like tuxedos and stuff,
Right.
but here it means you dress like Halloween.
Right. Yeah. I noticed that.
Yeah, so anything goes. It's open to interpretation.
Yep.
So it will be at the Harmony Hall in Devonport, which is a really lovely venue for dancing because it has one of those sprung floors,
Right.
wooden floor. And we have some friends, Edith Wong and David Harawira, I think his last name is,
Uh-huh.
who are wonderful tango dancers, and they're bringing a dozen of their friends that are also dancers.
Right.
And we're going to dance the night away.
Yay.
So 2 sets of live music we have a trio with the
Tracy.
accordionist Tracy Collins,
Okay.
which is very creatively titled the Bleu Blanc Rouge Trio.
Okay.
That's actually because the common colors to the Kiwi, the New Zealand and American and French flags are blue, white, and red.
Or red, white, and blue.
Or red, white, and blue, as it were. And so tickets are available on Under the Radar.
Okay.
And that will be from 6:30 p.m., doors at 6:30, live music from 7. And from 9 p.m., we're doing a bit of a playlist
This
set.
is all on the 15th?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Now, more importantly, I see you brought some cookies. What do you
They're
got?
not cookies, though.
Donuts? Or
So I found these in a local tea shop.
Yes.
So these are made by a French company called Saint-Michel. They're not paying me to say this, by the way.
No,
But
okay.
I found these in a local tea shop on Dominion Road. That's quite a sweet little independent tea shop.
Right.
And they're called Donuts, which
Donuts.
is apparently the French take on donuts.
Okay.
So we may survive this, or we may not.
We'll see. Well, being American, we can't resist a donut.
That's right.
People
So,
freak out when they find out that we like to have donuts for breakfast.
yeah.
But like when
Crusty
we-
creams.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I used to work in video shoots
Uh-huh.
back in the States, and if there were not donuts laid out in the morning, nothing would happen. I mean,
No.
that was mandatory.
Baker's
A
dozen.
little bird told me. So we came well equipped
Oh,
today.
thank you very much. Wise move, wise move. You can't go wrong with donuts.
Yeah.
All right, so and anything else happening after the 15th? What else you got planned?
There are quite a few things happening. It so happens, it's kind of lucky timing for us because we had no idea. But the next Olympic Games are being held in Paris, of all
Okay.
places, next year. And I think is it the 23rd of July? We're playing a kind of private event at the War Memorial Museum.
Right.
And they're doing a 1-year countdown to
Right.
the Olympics event with some of the athletes. And
Right.
so our duo has been hired for that, which
Oh,
is
very exciting.
very exciting. And we're doing, quite a few concerts. And as we said earlier, we're in quite a few bands. So we have a South Island tour coming up with Chris Priestley and the Unsung Heroes.
Oh, cool. All right.
And we're in Nigel's band Gitbox Rebellion, which
Oh, yeah.
A
is
few gigs coming up.
the
Yep.
guitar ensemble. So a few gigs
Actually,
coming
Marty
up.
interviewed me about that about 30 years ago.
At
For
least.
I can't remember what the print was. It was a magazine? Or
Yeah, probably Real Groove magazine or something like that.
Yeah.
Groove
That's
Guy.
probably where I met you.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So I hate to put a downer on this, but there's a lot of other stuff going on in France at the moment.
Yes.
Have you been
yeah.
following the news?
Only through friends and checking in. And
Right.
So far, touch wood. Is there any wood? Yes.
Floor.
Yeah, there you go.
Everyone's
It's pretty scary over there,
all
isn't
right,
it?
but it's quite. I mean, I think it's like any event. The media really hypes it up and makes it sound like Paris is burning kind
Right.
of thing. That's happened before, and the friends I've spoken to have said it's quite localized, and
Right.
the feeling is you'll start walking down a street and see that there's unrest and take a different street. But it's not good news, obviously.
Right.
And we're hoping things settle down.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yes, because you don't want to be stuck in the middle of that.
So a lot of what I'm doing and what I aspire to do is about bringing peace through music
Okay.
and creating harmony and opportunities for harmony and playing at the Harmony Hall.
Okay.
So it's all the more reason to play music and, you know,
And
sing
we have a few
songs.
other gigs coming up locally. We have Rafters Folk Club, which is in Ponsonby.
Right.
I forget, this Friday.
Yeah, we should know the dates, but we don't. So
okay.
we do have, I should say, we do have a Facebook page.
Right.
And we have a website as well, which I've created. It's a work in progress.
Okay.
But it's sonianigelmusic.com.
Okay.
And the Facebook page is also Sonia Nigel Music, Sonia with an I.
Okay, maybe we can put it up on the screen. when
Yeah,
we
perfect.
Talk about it. Excellent. It sounds like it's all happening. So we'll
Yeah.
see you on the 15th.
Yeah, and thank you
And
for...
hopefully everybody else will see you as well and listen to the digital thing and grab some physical copies of that because it looks pretty cool.
It is at Marbeck's record
Okay,
store as
all right,
well. That's
that's
the
good.
one retail point, and otherwise it's when we play concerts.
Roger
and such.
Marbeck, we should toast Roger Marbeck
All right,
Yes,
let's do that.
yeah.
'cause he's
Very
a-
good. Thank you, Roger.
for being and keeping going. And
Somebody's doing something.
Yeah,
at least.
and thanks to you as well
We
for
do what we can.
all the work you're
Yeah.
doing. It's really appreciated.
without people like you, we couldn't do what we do.
Oh, thank you.
And I believe you have a bit of a fundraiser happening.
Well, we had a fundraiser here yesterday, and that was lovely because we had 5 acts playing and all this stuff,
Yeah.
and we raised some money, so that was good. Not as much as we want though, so
Right.
it's very
We're
frustrating.
doing
There's a
another one.
boosted page?
Yes, there's a boosted thing
believe.
going on for another week, I think it is.
Yeah,
So we have to
so-
hit our target by then.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, yep.
And then
So
you can come celebrate and dance the night away when
That's
you
exactly
hit your
right.
target.
I think it should just be around the same time. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Very
perfect.
good. All right. Well, good luck with everything, and thanks
Merci
for coming
beaucoup.
around and telling me all about it.
Yeah,
Thanks, Marty.
pleasure.